My name is Tracy Pellicer, and I'm a pet photographer. I grew up with animals. I can't remember a time when we didn't have at least one dog or a cat or a few, and spent my summers in North Dakota playing with all the animals on my grandparents' farm. And when I was 8 years old, my parents got me a camera for my birthday. It was a little yellow Cabbage Patch Kids camera, and I took it with me to North Dakota that summer and spent the whole time chasing the barn cats around, trying to take pictures of them. And as I got older, I continued to really develop a love for photography, as well as all my animals, and started taking photography classes in high school, and in college was my minor. Once I graduated, I worked in a photography studio and then in television, and ended up going back to school to get my master's in business administration, and continued to take pictures of my friends' pets and my own pets. I have 5. Eventually, my husband said to me, I think he'd seen an article in a magazine talking about pet photography, and he said, you should do that. You do that anyway. You should get paid to do things that you love. And I went to a workshop in Seattle that was given by another pet photographer, and met a whole bunch of people from all over the United States who all wanted to do the same thing, and formed kind of, a camaraderie with these people. And now I've been doing it for just over a year, and I get paid to do combine the two things I love the most, animals and photography. It's kind of funny, neither one of my parents are very artsy at all, but somehow I always fell into the arty things. I always loved dance and music and photography, and as I got more and more into photography after getting my first camera, I knew that that was what I loved. I loved being behind the camera, and I just kind of had a natural instinct for framing things. And when I started taking classes, I really loved being in the dark room and seeing these images appear on a blank piece of paper as you put it in some liquid. It was really cool. And even now, looking back at the pictures I took, it's kind of ironic to see how many of them were animals. I'd be walking down the street and I'd see a cat, in the alley, and I'd be like, oh, I have to go follow it and take pictures of it, even though my assignment was something completely different. It just was always what attracted me. Every animal looks completely different and has different attitude and different personality, and I love that I can try to capture some of that so that people remember, because they don't live as long as we do, and that way you have something that will always remind you of them. My parents have always been very supportive of everything I've done, as well as my friends. They knew that every time I came over to their house, I was following their dogs and cats around anyway with my camera. People who have pets generally understand where I'm coming from because they are like family. You hire people to take pictures of your kids or family portraits, so why not your pets too? I think everyone has doubts in what they do sometimes, and animals can be hard to take pictures of. I've definitely had sessions with animals who are a little bit shyer or who are unsure of that big black camera that's following them around and beeping and making funny noises. So sometimes, I take a lot of pictures at every session, and sometimes I'm not as happy with how they come out. I think the way I've overcome a lot of that is that, the owners, the parents of the pets are always so excited to see the pictures, and they always, point out all the great things about how I've captured, how their dog loves that particular toy or loves to chase squirrels or lizards or whatever it might be. I find creativity in a wagging tail, or even just a paw, on a blanket, or a close-up of a nose. I think creativity is always in the eye of the beholder. Just because I love the way something looks doesn't mean somebody else is. but you always hope that somebody's going to have the same reaction to the work that you do, and they're going to love it as much as you do. Okay, some words that would describe my job as a pet photographer would be furry, energetic, squeaky, surprising. It's like a warm fuzzy. I always take squeaky toys with me to sessions, and some of them absolutely love them, love playing with them, love chasing them. And even if they're not immediately attracted to them, if I'm trying to get a picture and it's like this perfect picture, but they're looking the wrong way, if I squeak one, they always look. I've not once had an animal who wasn't attracted to the squeaky toys. Well, most people probably would consider the Chinese crested that I took pictures of to be kind of a strange animal, because they don't, they're naked except for the hair on their heads and a little bit on their tail. And it's usually a Chinese crested that wins the ugliest dog contest every year. But the one I worked with, her name was Cupcake, and I thought she was really cute. She was tan and she had this really pretty white hair, and she had the cutest little t-shirts. I take a lot of pictures. I think most times I've probably taken around 300 to 400 pictures in a session. So I have the process of going through the pictures and deciding which ones are best and getting rid of blurry ones, or ones where I'm just catching feet instead of the dog. So I go through all the pictures and pick the best ones, and then I go through in Photoshop and just kind of brighten up colors, and if there's something distracting, I can remove things. And then I put up a sneak peek on my blog so that the owners can see within a couple days at least a few of the pictures and kind of get excited about seeing the rest of them. I think that might be my favorite part, is delivering the pictures. And they open up that box and remove the tissue paper, and they're seeing the pictures tangibly for the first time. They get excited and they want to show the other people that might be in the room, or they're always just so happy to see them, and it really makes my day. I think my own pets are my motivation. All 5 of our animals are rescue animals, and they all have so much personality, all of them very different from each other, and they're kind of my practice pets, because anytime I see one of them doing something that's really cute, I gotta go get my camera, and I run and get it. And I think just my love for animals in general, my passion for all things 4-legged or 2-legged, birds and things like that. I love them. I think that they're beautiful, and even if the animal is something that other people think is crazy looking or not attractive, I always find something beautiful about it.